In this video, we sat down with Mayor Ed Gainey 2 days before he left office, and we talked about the 4 years he was mayor of the city of Pittsburgh. What's going on, Pittsburgh?
Hello, Ed Gainey, Mayor, City of Pittsburgh. Now, being the first black mayor, I'll be honest, it was a surprise. I always thought I had something that I could give to the city, and it's always beautiful to be able to, serve your city. I think that's a great thing. And 4 years, when I think about the things we got done, from the NFL draft to 600 million downtown, to a low homicide rate, even in the African American community, the lowest has been in years, to being able to get more affordable housing, the Bedford dwellings development that's happened in the Hill District, Lecce, some downtown, 600 million for the redevelopment of downtown, first ever affordable housing bond, comprehensive plan. All those things and more. It means a lot to not only be the first African American mayor, but be one that was productive, be one that changed the city. First time in history of the city, we had three black prime contractors on major real estate development projects: Homewood Field, Frederick Douglass, DPW, Lou Waller, and the comprehensive plan, Latrenda. So when you think about all the things that we established, the most diverse administration in in the history of this city, first African American woman to run emergency medical services, and Chief Gilchrist. All those things add up to creating a better, more welcoming and thriving city. And for me, that was the beauty of being the mayor, to be able to demonstrate that if you give people chances, people can excel in the city. Instead of creating doors, we opened up the doors to allow people to be seen and not just viewed in our city. And I never fit into a statistic because I never see myself as a statistic. But those are the things that you have to deal with. And then you had to deal with the racism. You had to deal with the racism. You had to deal with the fact that the city was not used to having a black mayor. In the process of them not being comfortable with having a black mayor, of course, it was, I was the most scrutinized mayor in the history of the city. In one quarter alone, I had 339 right to know requests. 339. No mayor comes close to the amount of right to know requests I had during the course of my term as mayor. No one comes close. I didn't hang out at the bars. I wasn't hanging out, all time of the night with women. I was going home to my family, but yet I had the most right to know requests in the history of this city. And then, also opening up the door. One of the things that was great for me was the ability to open up the door. The black community didn't really have a pathway to downtown to the mayor's office. We seen that as I continued to go. And just, for them, just for my community to understand that they had a pathway was beautiful. But it also brought sometimes unreasonable expectations that other mayors didn't have to have. But I knew that because when you're the first black at anything, those are the things you go through, So it was beautiful for me because it taught me a lot. And I always say that as long as you can grow and elevate, then you allowed yourself to learn knowledge. So I wouldn't have changed nothing about how we did business, nothing at all, because I learned a great deal. And leadership is about learning and executing. And we did that quite well. I say, without question, the NFL draft is coming. Without question, the 600 million coming from downtown. For 600 million redevelopment for downtown. Without question, the bridge asset management program, where we got the bridge up in record time, and we started inspecting our own bridges. The first ever affordable housing bond that we got approved. The comprehensive plan that we're doing. Bedford dwellings in the Hill District. City in the streets, going out there, bringing government to the streets, letting people meet the directors and everything else. First time in the history of the city that the police had a contract with it without arbitration in 20 years. How we handled the homelessness, the lessons we learned, the fact that people wanted me to put them in jail. We never went that route. We handled it with dignity and respect, thanks to the homeless advocates. There's just so much. Homewood Field, the completion of Homewood Field is big. All those things we did in 4 years and more. I mean, there's more, but to be able to say that we accomplished a lot, all that in 4 years, it showed that regardless of what we had to go through, we kept the pedal. You know what I mean? We kept pushing, man. Like, we ain't quit. We knew I didn't want to just be the first black mayor. I wanted to be a productive mayor. I wanted to be one where, regardless of how people were going to label me, because people are going to label me as they see fit. There's nothing I can do about that. But I know what we got accomplished. Like, no one can take what I just mentioned from us and then some. And then even at the end, not being able, we having a budget that was balanced, that we didn't raise taxes. Council chose to. That's their prerogative. I allowed it to go without my signature. To stop the balance fund, the money that we were giving to organizations, black organizations that wasn't getting money ever like we gave money. I think it just demonstrates that if you invest in people, you get a better result. Us investing in people gave us the ability to bring the homicide down rate in the black community, citywide, but in the black community. When I speak to the youth, my message is clear to the youth. I want you, growing old you can do, but growing up is a choice. And there's a lot of people that I grew up with that I know grew old but didn't grow up. And the way that you grow up in life is through higher learning.
Full interviews on the YouTube channel is youtube.com/18Ricco, 18 Ricco.